Right, hi there, everyone. Grumpy old man here, and it's great to be chatting again with Chris Vanderstock.
Hello.
Say hi, Chris.
Hi, how we going? Waiting for
Good.
the camera to switch to me because that's the important bit.
Oh, yes, yes. So,
How you been? Have you been?
oh, plodding along, trying to get a few videos recorded and edited. I've just finished another one today. I haven't got it up yet, but I will.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I've been working on my 2024 Tesla Model 3 review, and it's going well. Just needs a bit more speed. I'll have it up by Friday. Yeah,
Yeah,
Friday.
my one that I did today was on the cost of owning my Model Y, the fuel costs,
Very good, very good.
and how it compares to a petrol car. And it's about 1/10 the cost of running it.
Fantastic. Yes, good
So
result.
look up my videos.
Yeah,
See that.
definitely. So what's been making news this week, Nigel?
Well, here's a few things that I've come across. Now then, sharing.
Just
And
pause yourself for a second, folks. Oh, there we go.
yeah. Here we go. Children's Hospital at Westmead has got 75 EV chargers that are on the Charge Fox AC chargers.
That's pretty impressive. 75. Very good.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. It's they've opened up a new staff car park and equipped it with a whopping 75 AC electric vehicle chargers. So it looks like it's for staff only.
Maybe not.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I know, but can I tell you, there's already probably ice cars parked in it already.
Oh, I wouldn't be at all surprised. I don't know that they've got 75 EVs.
No, I guarantee they have. So speaking of someone who actually works at a hospital, and the parking for staff is mixed with also public, and I see a lot of Teslas down there, and look, I'm included, and I do know that staff have been wanting at our hospital electric vehicle chargers. So this is a great move. But my question is, are they charging staff for it, or people to use them rather?
Yeah, it does not say in this article. So if someone wants to let us know, right in the comments below, whether it's going to be charged. I don't know that they're even opened yet.
Yeah, because when I saw that article, they talked about a massive solar panels, right? Like, oh, there it is, there 700 kilowatts of solar. So they've probably got a lot to actually sell back into the grid. And can I just say, at that capacity, they've actually had to go for a commercial export sort of license. Scotty, who watches, he would be able to put in the comments the exact name of it. So that's a real massive investment, and it wouldn't surprise me that they actually want to charge people to use them, even though they're slow, 11 kilowatt chargers.
There'll be 7 or 11, yes. So if you've got your BYDs, you'll get 7 kilowatts. And if you've got your Teslas or some others, you may get 11. It doesn't state how much they're going to charge and whether they're 7, 11, or even 5 kilowatts. But I mean, if you park there for your whole shift, which would be 8, 10 hours, you don't actually need 11 kilowatts, because in your 10 hours, you're going to get 110 or 70. I mean,
yes,
your battery is only, well, I mean, in rear wheel drives, Model Ys and 3s, it's only a 60 kilowatt hour battery. So, 5 kilowatts is probably more than sufficient to top you up.
Yeah, curious, right? And look, there are definitely even some electric cars out there with even 22 kilowatt chargers on them. And I guess one of my beefs is that, people who actually go to destination charges like this, where they are slower and you expect to get charged across several hours when you're shopping, say, it's frustrating that they're never available because there's someone parked there who's determined to go to 100%. So, I would hope in some way there's a nominal fee to discourage people from just parking there and hogging it all day, because as electric vehicle grows, in growth. It's been a long day, Nigel. The you know, it would be very competitive for those spaces, and I would hope that, you know, yeah, a nominal fee would be fair. I don't know. What do you
Look,
reckon?
I totally agree. I mean, down at my local shopping centre, they've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of panels, and they've told me it's 1.2 megawatts of panels up there.
Wow.
So that's supplying the shopping centre, and there's one free Tesla destination charger that will only charge Teslas, and there's two Schneiders, but they're broken and have been for a month or more now. So you can only park a Tesla there. Now, when I first started going to this shopping centre with my Tesla 5 years ago, I was the only one that ever parked there. It was my local charger. Now I can't get a look in.
Yep.
There is one guy who parks there for 6 hours. Now he's got a long range, I believe, but that is basically 10 to 90% easy, if not up to 100. And he checks in on PlugShare for 6 hours. I mean, he does the right thing, but he's not doing the right thing, in my opinion, because it's free. There's another guy who drives a Model Y like mine who parks there every single day for 1 to 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, look, that's all right, because I park next to him and he plugs me in when he leaves.
Bless. I've got a similar story. Like, I go to gym typically Saturday mornings, and sometimes I think to myself, I'll go try and get a charge. No, and I try week in, week out, and I should stop. I should give up, because there's always this one person who drives a black Model Y. You know who you are. And he's always there, and he sits in his car whilst it's charging. And I come back after gym a few hours later, and he's still there. And I'm kind of like, have you got somewhere else to be? Maybe go use the shops upstairs who are kind of helping to pay for your power.
He's watching Netflix.
Yeah, right. But the point is, some people do treat them as personal charges, and when you've got 75 available, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. You know, I would imagine that it's not uncommon for staff to probably want those spaces, and then there'll be the staff who get there early and just sit there all damn day with a full battery. With a full battery.
I used, because this one charger that was mine up in the shopping centre, because I was the only EV in town. Now there's hundreds. I always liked them being free, but now I'm of the opinion that there should be no such thing as a free charger. They need to have a nominal fee. Look, even if it's only 10 cents a kilowatt hour, that's fine. But when you've stopped charging and you don't unplug and move, you get stung an idle fee. Like ChargeFox are doing that with the WAEV network. You've got 10-minute grace period. Tesla do it. You've got a 5-minute grace period. Then it's $1 a minute. Make it a 10 cents a kilowatt hour into your battery, and if you stop charging for whatever reason, it's $1 a minute after a 5 or 10 minute grace period.
Yeah,
because that's going to stop these hoggers.
Yes, exactly right. And yeah, I think as more and more people get electric cars, we definitely need that. And was ChargeFox who recently introduced an automatic check-in for, I believe that if you use any of the products now, so you'll be able to tell with DC charging anyway, should I say. So with DC rapid charging, the status of the battery is actually known to the charger, right? When you do AC charging, it doesn't. It basically just, gets managed by the car, and the charger know what to do. It's told, slow down, speed up, whatever. So if you do a rapid charge, it actually will let others know when they look at the app, oh, this person's battery is at whatever, and they've set the charge limit to 80% or 100%. So then you got an idea as to maybe how long you potentially could be waiting, which I think is a very good thing. And I'm pretty certain that was ChargeFox.
Yeah, it sounds a great idea. And yes, when they're DC charging, they do get to know the state of charge of the battery.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'd be good. And yeah, look, there's some really good changes that need to be done. And you know, yeah, it's exciting times, but I sometimes still feel we're in the Wild West, and the people.
I'm in the Wild West, Chris.
You're in the true Wild West, Nigel.
I'm in the true Wild West.
Yeah, but nonetheless, there's look, people are just people are just people, aren't they? Right, and they will do what they can do, and if they're given an inch, they will sometimes take a mile. And it sounds very pessimistic of me, but I think we've got a lot of stories. There's a Facebook group called EV Holes and Ice Holes, and
Yes.
it's for people who go park in electric charging bays, and they don't actually charge. And it's a bad behavior. Don't do it. And people are constantly like, they should have idle charges. Yes, I agree. We all agree. So
But you
please,
can't have an idle charge on any car that parks there without plugging in.
yeah, and
That's
then
got to be one of the ticket inspectors comes around and writes a ticket for it.
please, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
There is the snap send solve for some places.
Yeah, but more often than not, there are private car parks, so councillors are actually can't do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Right.
all right. What's your next story, Nige?
Well, okay. What we've got here, talking of batteries, is this talk that 1,000,000 miles, which is 1.6 million kilometer battery,
Wow.
which can endure over 5,000 cycles.
Bless. Has this hardly. Or people just don't believe it.
Yeah. So this is Fireside Energy from China, and extra super long range battery. Now they say it's revolutionary, but they don't actually say how it's revolutionary.
Yes.
So look, I mean, 1,000,000 miles. That's
Mm-hmm.
gonna. I mean, your battery's going to outlast the car.
Yes. And one of the things that comes up time and time again, if you're an electric vehicle owner, is people asking, how long will that battery last? And I'm quick to point out to them, a few different stories of late where there's like I'm fully charged with a Tesla with more than 600,000 kilometers before it got its first battery change.
That was a guy in Sydney with his Tesla Model S that he was using as a chauffeur airport runs. He only ever supercharged it, and he got the battery replaced at 666,000 kilometers.
Interesting number one, isn't it? but it just goes to show that I had a naysayer, was like, well, you see, it needs replacing, and how much did it cost to replace? And I'm like, do you understand? Like, you do it, what, 15,000 kilometers per year, so you're talking about 30 years before you need to replace that battery. Yeah, I would have replaced the car by then.
Yeah. Yes, people don't understand. I mean, I think we discussed this last week. You've got to, after 25,000 kilometers, you've got to replace the battery at $25,000 or whatever it was. Yeah. There's these things that have been posted so many times that people are believing them. But 1,000,000 mile battery, yeah, that's all right. I could do with that.
Agreed. It's a game changer, that is.
Yes, I reckon that is. Whether it's going to reach mainstream or not, I don't know. So how long this is going to take to get into the mainstream, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than later. As I understand it, these sort of batteries that we've heard time and time again over the last several years, they tend to be a mixture of both NMC as well as LFP. And so for my friends out there, like we're talking about lithium iron phosphate versus manganese cobalt. And so one's designed to actually get you up and going, that's the NMC, and the other one's designed to just keep you running smoothly, plodding along. So it doesn't tax either battery as much. That's the kind of idea behind them.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
And I mean, this was only announced, well, in the last week. And it was announced at the ASEAN Automotive Supply Chain Conference held in Thailand. I'm going to be in Thailand next week.
Nice. You enjoy that.
Yeah.
Now I've got a question for you, Nigel. Like last
Yes.
we talked about nuclear ever so briefly.
Yeah.
And, did anyone comment on that? And if you had any other questions offline? And what on earth are we doing about our energy crisis? Because there's a energy crisis out there.
There is an energy crisis. Yeah. So I did have a few people mention, I mean, the usual thing, John Howard banned nuclear power stations when he was PM, so they'd have to rescind that. But whilst we're there, I mean, I got this article that was in Renew Economy. So let me just share this. There we go. Right. You've got Potato Head, I mean, Peter Dutton, talking up his nuclear power stations, saying that he's not going to, we need to abandon the 2030 targets. But Labour has been swamped with 40 gigawatts of wind and solar bids in the first major tender, which will meet 82% of the renewable energy target. And therefore, by 2030, Australia will have hit its target.
Wow. That's super impressive, right?
And that is going to cost so much less than one power station.
Like one nuclear power station.
Yeah. There's one nuclear power station being built in England. And I forget the name of the place.
I believe it's called the Henley C, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So it was 2007 it started, going to be online by 2017. It's still not online. It was only going to cost £9 billion and it's now £90 billion.
Yeah.
That is 170 billion Australian dollars for one power station that isn't even working yet.
Yeah, exactly. And the take-home message for those nuclear punters out there is that, yeah, sure, I completely agree that the energy is amazing. It's extremely low carbon, and so we're talking about from actual, cradle to grave people, and that when they're actually using that fuel, it's tiny. It is really, really tiny, but we've still got the issue of the waste at the end of it all. But conversely, that nuclear reactor over in the UK, and there's also another one in one of the Nordic countries. I forget where it is. So the one in the Nordic country was actually built but never commissioned because public sentiment meant that it never actually was approved to be commissioned. So they built it and they can't use it. So they now use it to train nuclear technicians. And the other thing with the plant over in the UK is that, they never envisioned that it would take this long. And they were sold this lie that it was a cookie cutter build, that, these have been done before, and nuclear is a proven industry, which it is. It's been around for decades. But every nuclear power station is bespoke. And when you're talking about small modular nuclear reactors, SMRs, which what Dutton is, there has not been one built yet.
No.
And he's embarking out where he's trying to get us down this road, which will take 20, 30 years, by which time we've more than surpassed our energy requirements tenfold.
Yes, this is the number of nuclear power plants in the world in 2023. There's not a lot. And he wants to build 7, which will put us up with Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
Be in the top 10 of nuclear power plants in the world. Now, I know some of these places are actually closing them.
Yeah, exactly. They've been on the decline for the last 2 decades, actually. And, just the conversation just needs to get real. Like 40 gigawatts, that's basically more than 10 Yallourn power stations that essentially powered all of Victoria. So imagine building 10 Yallourn power plants and powering the entire nation, and we can actually do that through wind and solar. And can you see the comments right now, Nigel? They'll be like, well, the wind doesn't always shine, or
Yeah, no. Well, I've got to agree. I don't know how we're going to get any solar power at night because the sun's not shining.
Yes.
Hold on a moment. I've got an idea.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is going to catch on, but we could use batteries.
Yes, exactly.
Do
Yep.
you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, pumped hydro people, and some very negative Nellies out there who are always quick to cite the fatal flaw of renewable energy and the lies you've been sold. And it's kind of like, but yeah, would you have said that around dams and actually drinkable water, usable water for people to live and grow plants and enable industry? But we can go to a tap right now and actually get water. It's very annoying. It's very annoying.
Yes. Look, people will have their little beliefs, I'm sure. Just because they believe it doesn't mean it's true. And, we can store a lot of this power and then feed it back into the grid when it's needed.
Yeah.
And we don't actually have to go and build
Mm.
massive battery stations at all these wind and solar farms. You can have your virtual power plants. You can have your VPPs. You use your battery in your garage or just outside to feed back into the grid when it needs it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly right.
Tesla Powerwalls are doing that in America in a few states.
But right now, in fact, I'll have a look. I'm pretty certain we're running on our battery. This whole setup, everything running this house, the heater, everything's coming from our battery. So we made our own energy today. We're using our energy now. And yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing the same. Looking at my thing here. Wow, we did have some sunshine today. I made 30 kilowatt hours
wow.
of power coming. Yeah. And now the whole house is running off my battery, which is now down to 81%.
There you go. Exactly.
Only a 13 kilowatt hour battery, but nothing is coming in from the grid.
Yeah, and typical Australian household use is anywhere between 20 and 30 kilowatt hours per day. So you're ahead, Nigel. So well done. Thank you for helping out the grid.
Yes, well, I have used 20.8 kilowatt hours consumption since midnight.
Yeah.
According to this app, and it was 26.4 yesterday.
Yeah,
but then I've had the aircon on heat. I haven't got it on at the moment, which is why I'm sitting here with this on because it's cold.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're in Melbourne and you said it's cold over there.
It is freezing. It is freezing. And, I do try to keep the heaters lower, so our energy bill isn't as high, plus, trying to help the environment. And just Australian houses are notoriously not built very well. Insulated, no. Thermal windows, no. Thankfully, new ones that I think now require 6 or 7 stars, so they do have double glazing and better walls.
We built this house 15 years ago, and we had insulation in the walls and the roof, and had it north facing and so on. But it probably would qualify for about 5 stars on energy efficiency because we only got single glazing, not double glazing, and so on. But when I put the heating on, it's set to 20 or 21 to heat and 27 to cool.
Wow, that's quite warm.
I don't know whether the thermometer, the thermostats are very accurate because 27 on the cool cycle, it's very pleasant. It's not freezing. And 21 on the heat cycle is comfortable. You still need a long sleeve thing on, but it doesn't use as much power as you said, thinking of the environment, although it usually runs a little bit off the battery, but the battery can only supply 3 kilowatts into the house. And it takes 5 kilowatts to run the to run the aircon.
Gotcha.
According to my app, when I've got it on, it's 5 kilowatts.
Wow, that's a big aircon system you got then.
Yeah, I've got a big house.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to buy a big house, it's up for sale.
Good. All right. So what's your last story, Nigel? You got anything juicy for us? Make it really simple. No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. All right. I came across this, which is quite interesting. It's the People's Climate Vote. Now, this is the results that they've just published, literally only in the last week or so.
By the
So,
UN.
yes.
Very good.
So it's a massive study that they've done, and they've come up with the results that shows 80% of the people globally want their country to do more. And I reckon that's probably 100% of countries need to do more. I don't think many of them are actually doing enough.
Yeah.
Then they've got 69% said climate change is impacting their big life decisions, i.e. where they work, live, and so on, and what they buy. So, yeah, if they want to move house, they should move to higher ground or buy a boat. And 53% of people around the world are worried about climate change, more so this year than last year. And we've got one here that says, see my country. Oh, let's have a look at Australia and see what that showed.
Sure. Is that the results already?
Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, because if I go back to global, yeah, it is. This is Australia.
Australia.
So, Australia, 87% of people said yes, they should work together despite their disagreements.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, because the conversation, like how we went back to nuclear today, because it's still actually on in media. A lot of people say that yes, they agree climate change is a thing, but they go, but the solution is just to do nuclear power because that solves everything. And it's like, no.
And what are they going to do in the meantime? I mean, okay, so he's going to build 7 nuclear reactors, which won't be enough, which will take, well, he did state 3 years worth of getting feedback from the peoples. 3 years. Then they've got to change the law, and then they've got to get the planning permission and buy the land, and then they've got to be, we're talking 15, 20 years down the track before they're coming online.
Yeah.
And what are we going to do in the meantime? Keep burning coal?
Yeah, exactly. And more broadly, that we've got the solutions, we know what they are, the renewables, but it's kind of like we need to stop burning stuff and we need to find better ways of doing things. And just putting all your answers, all your solutions, all your worries into the one basket and going, nuclear solves everything. It's like, no, we need to actually encourage business to think greener and do the bit.
We should not have 100% solar or 100% wind. We need a mixture. We need some dams, like the Snowy River thing, that's generating. Tasmania makes a lot of power from its water level changes. So, you need a mixture. And maybe nuclear is in there in the future. But in the meantime, do some other things. So, yeah, this is just Australia. So if I go back, people want to move away from fossil fuels quickly. Whoa, 72% globally said, yes, please. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 of the world's biggest oil-producing countries said they want to move away from fossil fuels to clean energy quickly. Now, I wonder what that one country is. That Saudi Arabia, do you reckon?
I would hesitate to guess. I think you might be on the right path there. I think you're probably wrong.
Possibly, yes. 86% said yes. They want to put differences aside.
Cool. Bring it then. Bring it. Let's do it.
Just do it. Let's put our differences aside. Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
You got my vote.
84% of the people in the world's biggest economies, which is the G20, said countries should collaborate on climate action. Well, hold on, isn't this the ICC, the International Climate Change
Council.
people, and the Paris Agreement and so on? Aren't they supposed to be doing this anyway? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and
a lot of talk, not a lot of action.
Yeah, it's all talk and not a lot of action.
Yeah, it's quite like what the situation in Australia is like, in that, we've got affectionately called the shit and the shit light parties. That's, basically the right and left wing sort of stuff for international viewers out there. And they both approve gas, and they both approve coal. And they say that they're doing the right thing by investing in green, clean, renewable energy, whilst they're actually enabling these fossil fuel companies to continue to exploit our country, take all our riches, pay no taxes, and damage the environment in turn, and also people's health and well-being. It's a great relationship we have here. So in
the northwest of Western Australia, there's a massive gas project happening, and it's got leases up to 2030 or something. They just want to extend those leases for an additional 50 years to keep taking gas out of the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely crazy.
Yep.
So, yeah, and then this one's 43% of people around the world think extreme weather events have gotten worse. That sounds very American, doesn't it? I hate that expression. It's gotten worse. It has got worse, or it has become worse.
English speaking.
Yes. 78% want more protection for people at risk. Now, I do know that Australia is trying to help out the Fijian Islands and over there, because they're all under threat. If the sea levels rise a meter, they ain't got any country. So, yeah, 79% of people want the richer countries to help the poorer countries adapt. Buy them boats, I think.
Yeah.
He said sarcastically.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, and then how often do you think about climate change? Daily, weekly, a few times a year? Never. Don't know. I don't think.
Gosh.
Yeah. So, look, I personally think about it every day, but that's probably because I'm doing my YouTube channel and researching every day and come across things like this. So, yeah, it's a concern. I do believe climate change is a real thing. Now, I know Elon Musk says that it's not urgent. We've got plenty of time. But other scientists are going on about a 1.5 degrees centigrade rise overall around the world. And then they say, if we hit that, we're going to be in trouble. And then a few months ago, they said, we've hit it, but don't worry until we get to 2 or 2.5. Yeah, it's called goalpost moving, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what they do.
So 81% of people want their country to do a lot, like planting trees and protecting wildlife. Look, I think you should be protecting wildlife anyway. And planting trees, I think that's a good idea. When you've got, the beef cattle in Argentina and Brazil and so on, the South American countries, they're clearing land, which is called rainforest, to stick cattle in there to cater for the world's beef requirements. So maybe we should all become vegetarians.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I'd still like me steak.
I love my steak as well.
Yeah, I'll just have to eat it less often.
Yeah.
Mind you, as a pensioner, I can't afford it as often now.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then you can download the full report. So I found that was actually quite interesting.
No, it's a good little, it's encouraging. It's encouraging as much as we're being sort of poo-pooing on the results. I
Yes.
hope that our representatives are the ones, they're the ones who actually can make the real change here. And, people's place in this, we have our place and we're trying to do everything we can. I think most people are. But what we need is government to actually make industry actually do a lot more, because they're the ones doing the most damage. So
I saw a post from somebody about, or China's has gone and built 1,000 coal-fired power stations every week, which I don't know where they dream up these figures, but they've only got something like 1,100 coal-fired power stations active at the moment.
Yes.
And then I came across this lovely chart, which was showing from 2000 to 2023 that China has added 298 gigawatts
My God.
of renewable energy.
Yeah.
So they're doing quite nicely. I mean, they probably need to add a bit more, but the US has only put on 31.
Yeah. Well, I guess they probably they had the highest number of nuclear power plants, so I think they're probably relying upon them. So until
Yes.
the end of their useful life, why not keep using it? Great. Obviously deal with your waste, but okay, great, keep going.
But the other interesting thing I saw from that chart down here was India has put on 13 gigawatts of renewable energy. Now, they're one of the highest coal users in the world, but they are switching over to renewables. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Australia on there. Anyway, I thought that was interesting that, I've had comments on one of the videos that I did. Somebody said 1,000 a week they're opening in China. And sorry, where did you get that figure from? I actually looked it up, and they've only got, I think it's 1,100 and something coal-fired power stations in the whole of China. They do have quite a few nuclear power stations, but from that, they're putting on almost 300 gigawatts of renewables over the last, 23 years. But if you looked at it, it's going up. So they're putting on more and more each year. So the signs are quite good, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, definitely. Now, I've got nothing to share this week. I've been busy editing and doing stuff, but I just thought I'd share this. Parked in my garage right now. Can you see that? I've got to try to
It's a yellow.
Hey, here we go.
It's a yellow EX30.
Yeah, and it actually is a shocking yellow taxi color.
Oh dear.
It's a delight to drive, can I tell you? Because I really do like actually small cars. I just always find the Model 3 is too low for my liking, and this is actually a nice little medium. It's a hatchback, pocket rocket, 0 to 100 in like 5 seconds for the entry level version. It's a bit pricey. Yeah, it's a bit pricey though, because I think it's about 60,000. Which is what
Model Y price range.
Yeah, but no, it's a Model 3 size car. It's a small car. It's not a Model Y. It's a small car. But it's very plasticky, and you can see where they've saved money. And like in a Tesla, how we've got the center screen and with the speedometer in the top corner. This has also got a center screen, but it's actually in portrait like this, and it's dead in the middle of the actual car. And so you are doing this to look at the speed. You go, ooh, all the way over there. You're looking all the way over there. You're not just doing a little glance. No, I'm talking all the way there.
With the Tesla, you go,
look, yeah.
You drive. It's by your left hand, so it's just
there. And you get used to it, right? It'd be nice to see like a true head-up display, on the windscreen of Teslas, like the 3s and Ys. But this car, you so need it because the speedometer is so far away, it's ridiculous. So I'll be filming the review of it this weekend, and I'll definitely endeavor to get the Model 3 review out, the 2024 model. And there's no surprises in that video. If everyone's watched my other content, and I've you know, ultrasonics versus Tesla Vision. Yeah,
I just did a video on parking with me, ultrasonics, and Tesla Vision. I beat the lot, and Tesla Vision is, well, it parked okay, about the same with ultrasonics, but the screen with the Tesla Vision up is absolute shit. It really is. It's horrible.
yeah, exactly. And I really do laugh at the Tesla fans out there who make the videos going, "Oh, this is great! Look at this! It's revolutionary!" It's like, what? Blobs? It's blobs,
Yeah,
and they're not accurate.
hazy, fuzzy blobs as well. It's yuck. No, I don't like it. Sorry.
No.
I mean, I know I'm a bit of a Tesla fanboy, but they don't do everything right.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. And maybe having a heads-up display or a little screen just in front.
Now, I reckon just a heads-up display is all it needs. It's like I firmly believe that you don't need something in front of you, but for the best sort of driving experience where you can really keep your eyes on the road and be aware of everything, is to actually have that sort of project onto the windscreen. And it's just when you drive that sort of car and you get your directions through there, you get your speed advisories, you get your speed, obviously, you know what your cruise control is doing. It is such a nice experience. It really is. And I just feel that, yeah, be great to see that in a 3 and a Y, but also in this Volvo EX30, it so needs it, because that head tilt for the actual speed is ridiculous. It actually it's baffling. So anyway,
the one car I would really like to get my hands on is the Kia EV5 when it comes. That looks a brilliant. I love the EV9. I've sat in that. We drove one in Sydney. Absolutely loved it. It's a brilliant car. 120 or 140,000 Australian dollars is a little bit over the top, and I don't particularly need a 7-seater for me and the wife. But I love that car. And the EV5 is basically a shrunk EV9. And I quite looking forwards to that being available over here in Western Australia, probably next year, in the next year or two. So yeah, I'd really want to get a hold of that and go and have a look at it, because I think it's going to be a very good car. And it's about Model Y size-ish, you know, that medium SUV. And if they can price it under the Model Y, I reckon it's going to go well. But it's got to have good towing capacity. I mean, the Model Y is only 1.6 tons or 1,600 kilos.
Yeah.
Not ideal. The Kia EV9 can do 2250 kilograms, 2.25 tons, which is a bit better. But when you look at some of the caravans and what have you out there, they're 2.5 to 3 tons.
Yeah.
I did see another one today. A friend of mine who's on their way up to Broome for the winter, because it's warmer up there, sent me a picture of, she was in a caravan park, sent me a picture of a Havoc, which is New South Wales and Melbourne and Sydney. They've got offices. Havoc, fully electric caravan. It's being towed by a Ford F-150.
Wow.
Not enlightening. It was up north, you know, near Broome, I think, or Port Hedland they were. So
this is the Kia EV9 that I had about a month ago now. This is some just B-roll shot in M-Log, you know, the DJI M-Log, I think it's called. So it's a bit of a flat profile, so the colors aren't that good here, but I actually broke that car.
You broke it?
I broke the sunroof. I did. I broke the sunroof on the very second last day before I had to return it, and I had to drive back to my place with the sunroof open. It was a great car, mind you. It really was a very good car.
I really liked that car. I think it's too expensive, and as I said, you know, I'd tell you, it was a 5-seater and cheaper, I'd probably look at it. But yeah, so that's why I'm really looking forward to the EV5.
Yeah, that's a good
car. Come out with an EV3 and an EV7, possibly halfway between the size of the EV5 and the EV9.
Yeah,
but they've got to price them right. because that EV9, whilst it's a brilliant car, is not priced right, in my opinion.
$120,000 to $130,000 for a Kia.
Yeah, I mean the base model starts at 100. Well, over here it would be 102, 103 on the road. Then it goes up to 122 on the road, and then 144 on the road.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that was good.
Thank you very much, Chris.
That's
same
all right.
time next week.
Yes.
Same time, same place, same back channel.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. If ever I heard one,
isn't it just?
Did you used to watch that as a child?
Yes, I did. I wasn't so much a child when what's his name? Mr. Ward was Batman.
Adam West, wasn't it?
Adam West, that's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you're old if you can remember that. Yes.
I watched the reruns, unlike the originals. Huh?
Oh, I watched the originals.
Probably, maybe. Anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, good talking to you, Nigel. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. So, in signing off, don't forget, people, click that like and subscribe button down there, whether you're watching his channel or my channel. It's free and it really does help promote the channel. Thank you very much. See you all very soon. And over to you, Chris.
All right. See you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.